got a challenge for you.
What's that?
How about we try and put together a rig, guitar and amp, that you could gig with,
Yeah.
or at least play along with a drummer with.
Yeah.
Budget's £500.
500 quid?
Yeah.
What, guitar and amp?
Guitar and amp, 500 quid. Got to be at least loud enough to go with the drummer.
You're on. I challenge you to do exactly the same thing.
Well, I accept that challenge.
Good.
Now,
before that, I need a coffee.
So do I.
But
if only there was a pub next door to Andertons.
yeah, that would be really handy, wouldn't it?
I mean, what's that? Oh, there's a pub next door to Andertons. Let's go there.
So this is the Drummond. This is our local haunt for beverages and food. It's an incredibly good menu, very friendly staff, and we recommend that you come here regularly. So obviously Lee is going to be getting himself a little bluesy combo.
Oh, I don't know.
Or I'm a zombie, dead, half weird man. Norfolk Wall, free man, fuck. I reckon he's going to get a bluesy combo and some Strat. Am I wrong?
I'm concerned.
He won't now just to spite me.
No, in my mind, I'm thinking the only way I'm going to get the power, to compete with a drummer and stay on budget is I'm going to go solid state. Source of the devil. I'm going solid state.
Solid state, mate.
I can't think
even
I
think I can do it. I think I've got away. I hope I've got away anyway.
And what about, so are you presuming more money on the guitar or more money on the amp?
This is the question. This is it. You either spend the money on the guitar or you spend the money on the amp and you sacrifice one or the other.
Yeah.
From my point of view, if this is a rig, see, this is the problem. What's the scenario? The rig
Scenario.
for? Because is this a quick? I'm in town. I've got no gear. I've got to play a gig, and I've got 500 quid to go and play a gig, or is this a? This is my first rig to play a gig with, and I would build it up bit by bit.
This is definitely, I think, aiming at the guy who's probably put in the first.
So first rig.
First rig.
Okay, well in that case, I would probably spend the money on the guitar, so it's easier to play, and then build the amp up bit by bit. Because the guitar
you've got
is
to have an amp today.
Yeah, but the thing is, the guitar is the thing that will give you the urge to pick up and play it. And if you're beginning and you want
lose the challenge if we can't hear you over the drummer.
But you want that pickup ability, bro.
Yeah, but the challenge is.
Oh, but you can still play louder than a drummer with a you know, an affordable amp.
Affordable amp.
Yeah.
That's a new affordable.
Affordable. Come on. Yeah, so I'll probably get myself that white flying V and then nothing else. So here comes our amazing coffee from the lady from the north.
Thank you.
The lady from the north.
There you
That looks awesome. Thank you.
are. No worries. Do you want anything else?
No, I'm alright, thank you.
No.
So, the other rule is can't buy second-hand stuff. Now, obviously, I think in the real world,
Yeah.
if you had £500, you would look for second-hand stuff.
Yes.
But of course, it's going to be slightly unfair if you walk in and go, "Oh, there's a £500 amp for £100 second-hand."
Okay, so we've got to be fair.
So we've got to be fair. So
Okay.
you've got to buy new stuff.
And
so
we
that
can't
it's-
buy the same stuff. So if you
Oh,
if you choose something, I can't choose it.
You choose shotgun on the amp, and I choose shotgun on the guitar, or the other way around.
No.
What would you
Basically, the
prefer?
first person to go, I'm settling on this. That's it. It's Bagsied.
But I think you should get first choice on one, and I should get first choice on the other.
All right.
If that makes
Well,
sense.
in that
So
case,
do you want amp or guitar?
I will go for. You know what? Amp, because I know that my guitar choice will not be your guitar
Okay,
choice.
fine. So I get first. So if I choose the guitar that you actually wanted, it's tough. You've got to choose a different guitar.
Yes.
And vice versa on
That's
the amp.
completely fine.
Okay. Is it?
I should say, we had a bit of beer earlier.
That's definitely copyrighted. Shaffordable.
Shaffordable.
So what do you want to do first?
Well,
Look at
I think
amps?
the first person to get the best gear wins.
I think we do amps first. And whilst Rob is looking around the amp section, I'm going to go and speak to our drum section and get them to set up a drum kit.
Well, while he's doing that, looking at instruments that aren't really instruments, I'm going to be considering whether I go cube or whether I go valve. Now, what I really wanted to do was get 2 micro terrors, an ABY, and an affordable 212. But I don't think I could quite afford that kind of a rig. So maybe 2 separate 112s, 2 micro terrors, an ABY, and then a really cheap guitar. Let's find out. So here's an orange 112. I I've got to find out what the price is on that. But the Micro Terror, I love these little things. These are absolutely awesome. Mega loud 20-watt heads. And 99 quid. Actually, if it's 20-watt head, does that mean that I could probably just run this into a 212 and just use one of them and a pedal and have me a Micro Terror rig? That'd be good, wouldn't it? So this is my first inclination, is the Micro Terror. Great, because then if you upgrade your rig, you can just take the feet off and bolt it to your pedal board, and you've got yourself the perfect backup head on the pedal board ready to go. 99 quid, absolute bargain of anybody's money. That would leave me a good 400 quid, maybe 200 quid for the cab, 200 for my, hopefully, shaped guitar.
How can I help, Mr.
Wait,
Chapman?
it's Nick! How you doing, bro?
Good, man. How you doing?
This is Nick. He's an amazing guitar player. I know,
Too
because
kind.
I know Nick. I'm looking for the cheapest 2x12 cab that you guys do. I want to run a Micro Terror into it, but I've got to be loud enough to get over a drummer. Magic is occurring within that we can't show the customers.
529.
That's for the cab.
He's never gonna find
Okay.
a cab for
Yes,
the
I am.
price.
Yes, I am. What? So the cheapest 2x12 was what? Blackstar.
I think I'm going here. I know solid state amps get, I don't know why I'm whispering. It's like, don't need to whisper. But what I quite like about the Marshalls is because it's not a digital sort of power amp, unlike some of the modelling amps that you see. It's a sort of an old-fashioned type of analog power amp. Although there aren't many features on this amplifier, it's still pretty loud, and it does sound, you know, the basic clean and distortion sounds are pretty good. So I think this might be my one, and it leaves me £230 to buy a guitar.
What are you doing?
Nothing.
What are
to
you
see
getting?
here.
What's leaving you
Nice
money to buy a
keyboard
guitar?
over here.
Yeah, I like keyboards. They're great. I think my speaker cab separate and head thing is being foiled, but I am up against a guy who's been running a family guitar business in Guildford that's incredibly successful for many years, so my knowledge of the situation is less than his knowledge. I'm at a disadvantage. Maybe I should maim him. So yeah, basically a 2x12 cab is going to cost me 250 quid minimum, which means I have to go for a 1x12 cab if I'm going to do the Micro Terror option, or I'm going to go combo. If I'm going to have to go combo, I might go Roland, because I can't afford, I get Bagsies on the hand, don't forget, because I can't afford an HT5, which would be, for me, probably the holy grail of what would work.
On the whole, we're basically saying that the valve amps that we could afford would all be in the sort of 1 and 2 watt bracket. And
Yeah.
we're sort of going, don't think that'll be loud enough to play against the drum kit.
Is the Micro Terror actually all valve?
No.
It's not all valve.
It's a valve preamp with a 20 watt solid state power amp in it.
Right, okay. That's disappointing. I mean, it's a great amp, but it's disappointing that I can't afford to do that. What I wanted to do was 2 of them.
Well, you could afford to do, oh I see, 2 Micro Terrors, so
Yeah.
they're £100 each.
No, I know.
And there is a little 1x8 cab that is £59.
That's
that sells with
that's
it.
never going to get over
No.
a drum kit, though, is it? That's just not.
I
That's
would have
Chapman
thought.
guitar.
I would have thought not.
There it goes.
Sold to the man. I'm sure there's a 112 from Blackstar that's about £150, and there's this 4x8 that's about £200. Does that leave you enough
Yeah,
to
the
do
thing
anything?
is, I'm just not sold on the 4x8 thing.
Oh really?
No.
That sounds really good.
Yeah. I mean, I don't diss on them, but I would like to hear. I mean, how much is this?
Is that an HT5?
HT5. Oh, that's the whole amp.
Yeah.
How much is a 1x12 Blackstar?
Yeah, I
cab
think
then?
they're about 150, something like
Really?
that. Yeah, I think so. It's called an HTV112. I'll look it up.
This could be it. Plus, it comes with a metal front, and that would look really smart. And I could paint the Micro Terror head black. If it's 100 quid or more, that gives me more money.
179.
179.
So if you could, that would go with the Micro Terror, but,
Yeah.
it only gives you one Micro Terror.
And how much money have I got left over then?
£220.
220.
Which you could
Right,
buy.
I'm going to try it. I'm going to try it.
Isn't there a cheap 1x12 orange cab then? I don't think there is actually.
No, I think the orange is much cheaper. It's much more expensive.
You're right. It is more expensive.
Yeah. So I'm going to try the Blackstar 1x12 cab.
Okay.
Which is nice and light. The Micro Terror head.
Right.
And then I'm
We've got-
spending the
have we got
majority
a
of my
Micro
money
Terror?
on a guitar,
Oh, yeah,
hopefully a Flying V.
Micro Terror. I can't believe that this is going to compete with the drum kit. Look, hang on a second.
It's going to have to. You might mock my Micro Terror, but that is a 20-watt amplifier, and it's just good, and it does things, and it's a proper amp with proper valves, and it'll properly beat you in this game.
Plug it in. I should just say, for our competition, I did agree with Rob that the £500 budget would not have to include things like a lead and a strap and things like that.
Or my pedal board.
No, it has to include any pedals that you want. That reminds me, actually. So I don't think I need a. Oh, I just can't decide. I can't decide.
Well, while you're not deciding, I'm going to go take a look at guitars.
Okay, I've got two choices here. Marshall MG50, been in the catalogue for absolutely ages, but does what it says on the tin. Blackstar ID30 True Valve Power, not as loud as the MG50 on paper, but it does have the True Valve Power thing, which actually is really good. So I think actually whilst Rob is trying out the Micro Terror, I'm going to try these two out and see if I can discern which one sounds louder and better. But I think I'm 99% sure it's going to be one of these that I'll have. So let's go to look at guitars.
But
You're a big
I'm a
Cube
big
fan.
Roland Cube fan, but I really want to see if I can get some valves in my rig.
I see.
Because I don't think you're going to get valves in your rig, and I think I'm going to win.
But what you could do with this is a pedal. Because that's only £200.
Yeah, but this has got all the pedals built into it.
Yeah, that's true.
He's trying to draw me to the non-valve side, so I lose.
I'm not. So we've both got around about the you've got 220, I think I've got 230 to spend on a guitar. It's right, so let me show you where the Epiphones are. You might be able to afford.
Alright, wicked.
Epiphone wise,
Yeah.
you are talking about something like SG400.
Nah.
Nope. I might go with that, quite like the SG400. Or it would be one of the cheaper Les Pauls, almost like a bolt-on neck, or a real basic, like a. It'd be better. It could be better than that. In fairness.
Yeah. What I really
you're
want
not
is
loving it, are you?
a budget flying V.
There's no such thing.
Are you kidding me? There must be.
There might be budget, sort of like Jackson flying. There you go. Look.
Yeah, bro.
You
It's
found
a
it, haven't
Randy
you?
Rhodes.
And that pretty much is in your price bracket.
So, well, hold on. You know what? I've made my decision.
That's it, is it?
No. This is it.
You're going for the Kelly. Is that Marty Friedman?
The ghost fret will rise again in Jackson form and take me into the world of absolute shred terror with my white Jackson Explorer Kelly.
Well, hold that thought for a minute, because you haven't looked at a great deal of other guitars. So let's just see.
I haven't looked at a great deal of other guitars because I want this guitar.
Oh! I've just had some help from our guitar department manager. And he has quite rightly pointed out that this bundle of Win is exactly what I need.
Well, you haven't looked at a lot of guitars either, so realistically.
Well, it's true, but our guitar
probably
department manager should know what's on display, and he went, "This is the one you want." So
Now, obviously, I would have gone for a Chapman, but my guitars are not affordable enough. Chapman guitars are a little bit more pricey than that.
you know why? Because in fairness, in the budget that we're spending looking at, the only guitars that basically can be made to sell for sort of sub £200 or sub £250 have to be made in the thousands at a time. Otherwise, you don't get those economies of scale to produce a guitar at that price point. So really, the only kind of what I would call sort of good guitars, if you like, that are that sort of price are the ones by the brands that have the sort of the worldwide distribution to be able to sell that many guitars. And Chapman aren't quite there yet. So we focus more on more expensive guitars where you don't have to make quite so many to essentially have a viable product. About that. £228
That's
for
got
a
nice
telly
pickups.
with the they're Fidelitron, but they're like the Filtertrons.
They were nice.
What was the deal on that? We got those? Can you find one?
There is also the Sterling by Music Man Sub Philo 3 in black with maple fretboard for 229 pound Imperial credits of the realm, which is a great guitar, and maple with mahogany and pickups and all the controls, but you know what? It's not a white Explorer.
So there would have been, well, there are our warehouse, one of those Charvel Desolation models at 220. So I can get that for you if you want.
No.
Or do you still want
To be honest, what I really want is that white Explorer. I've got an affinity for it now. I've got a
It's not an
vibe.
Explorer,
I've
it's
got
a
a
Kelly.
vibe going on.
It's named after Gene
Oh, it's a
Kelly.
It's
The dancer
not
from the
named after
1940s.
Gene Kelly.
No, you're right. It's named after...
Marty Kelly Friedman. Not a lot of people know it's his middle name.
No, I thought it was named after the... what was the guy that used to do Going for Gold?
No, it's named after
Going for Gold from Ireland.
Kelly Jackson, the kung fu guy from Enter the Dragon.
Is it not the bloke from the
Double
Stereo
punch of Ready.
Phonics? Kelly, what was his name? Kelly Jones? What's that name?
Unorthodox, but effective.
I don't know what we're talking about. Okay, so you're going for a thingy. I'm going for...
Wait a minute. Oh no! Oh, I thought I found an absolute bargain, and then I realised it's second hand. Oh, gutted.
Well, let's talk about that, because, of course, if you've got a good local music store near you, or that you trust, or you're happy to go on eBay or something like that, and I would caution you, if you're not a fairly experienced guitar buyer, do be aware that, of course, there's no guarantees on anything you buy from eBay, so there's an element of risk involved there. But of course, buying secondhand is a great way to save money. Andertons have a dedicated section of their website for secondhand stuff. We take in probably 100 new secondhand items a week. That's very cool. And of course, you get bargains
150
like,
quid?
like stuff like
that's
this.
cool.
So do feel free to check the Andertons, secondhand section, because there's always cool stuff.
Sorry,
there.
if someone doesn't buy this 150 quid BC Rich gunslinger in slime green with the Duncan designed humbucker before the day is over, I will eat my own spleen.
I challenge you. Can we have a cut shot of video Rob eating his own spleen? I've decided I'm going to use this. So this is Squire. It's from the Vintage Modified range, which I love. It's got the big style, kind of late 60s, 70s style headstock. It's got Duncan designed pups in it with a humbucker at the bridge. It's a Strat. It's got a rosewood neck. And let's be fair, it looks cool. So, and it's the right price. So I can do this with a I need a 270 pound amplifier, which I'm pretty sure my Marshall amp is. Rob's dying of hay fever or something around the corner there. Let's go and see if he needs a hand. What about that?
Ooh. What? Yeah, you can
Harsh.
I'm in a dilemma between the V.
Nothing wrong with that.
I'm in a dilemma between the V and the Explorer now. Okay, so I'm in a dilemma between the V and the Explorer. The V and the Explorer. I'm not sure which one I want to play the most. I'm pretty sure I've demoed them both. I have a real weakness for Vs, and provided I'm allowed to restring whatever. How does he know what I'm going to play on it? Oh man. You know what? I think it's just going to have to be the Explorer because I got so excited about it. But
I should point out as well that what Rob and I have both done is chosen bolt-on neck guitars, and that's because at this kind of price point, really, that's where the value is. You're sort of not going to get a lot of choice of set neck or certainly no sort of through neck stuff at this price. Nothing wrong with bolt-on necks, but it is definitely a cheaper way of manufacturing the guitar than a set neck.
is Gavin in?
Of course he is.
Can I get it set up by one of the best techs in the entire world, bar none, for absolutely nothing?
Yes.
Awesome.
So what are you going for then, Lee?
I'm just going to plug the Black Star and the Marshall in. I guess, could have looked at things like one of the modelling amplifiers, but I don't know, I've got this thing, I don't trust the sort of the modelling-y type digital power amps when they're loud. I think they're killer when they're sort of bedroomy type stuff, but loud, it's either valves, which I can't afford, or good old-fashioned, MOSFET-y type analog stuff. So let's hope, fingers crossed. There's no doubt that the Marshall is loud enough, that's for sure. This is going to clip the shit out of the mic.
I've absolutely lucked out and got the best rig ever. The only thing is the strap they've had that they can lend me is a little bit short, so I'm wearing this like Guthrie Govan high. I really want this to be a lot lower because my arm, if you see it, my arm, if I have to rest it here, I have to hold my arm. It should be down here, so I'm going to get a longer strap, but listen to this. Also, I figure I got an advantage because Lee never plays standing up and I always play standing up. So I reckon when it comes to doing he may be disadvantaged by his lack of experience with a strap-on. And this is at 2 on the volume. This is halfway up. You might want to back off, Beasley.
Blackstar wins, I think. It's same price, and on paper, not as loud, but it is as loud. And it's got a slightly more authentic tube tone to it. And so yeah, it sounds great. So really, to be fair as well, if I was gonna buy this amplifier, I would buy the foot switch that is the optional extra foot switch, because it allows me to store lots of different tones and record lots of different effects, but that's an extra 50 quid, so I'm not going to be able to afford that in this, which means that the sort of the jam that I do is going to have to just be one sound, unless I can somehow quickly bend down and change channels, which I don't think I'm going to be able to do. So I think I'm just going to get one good sound and rock out.
And that's on half the volume.
Really?
Yeah.
There's no way in a million years you're going to beat me for volume.
No, I know you're loud, but it's not all about volume, Lee. It's also about tone, and this has just some of the...
Okay. I'm a weeny bit nervous now.
Okay, right, so...
Do you want to go to the drum part?
But check this out. Because I got Val.
So what I thought would be cool is we both set up either side of the drummer, and then we can have a bit of you playing, a bit of me
That's
playing,
a good idea.
and then a jam.
Okay.
So let's go, let's take your read.
You don't want to hear how loud this can be?
No, save it up.
He's nervous, that's what it is.
Save it up.
Okay, we'll save it up. We'll save up the big talk for when the big boy wins the game.
How do we decide who wins? Or
Famous last words, Lee.
How do we decide who wins? Is it
That's
comments?
his famous last words. My famous last words are white X men win the game, big in the game, Shapey Cray.
Mine is, what did I say in my phone earlier on?
Flange nipper.
Flange
Dude, you'd never be a
Flange
record
plucker.
You'd never make a wrestler.
Oh, is that what it was? Some sort of, I know, who was the guy that used to go, suck it!
He may be a captain, but he's not a monkey lord, and that's what he is. And I am the lord of monkeys. He's just a captain. I'm above.
Right, let's go.
All
Let's
right.
go and see if they... Sounds great. Okay, so we're going to go into our drum shed. Not a lot of people know this, but my grandfather and father, who both started Andertons back in the 60s, and my brother were all professional drummers. So I'm the only guitar player in the family, and my 1-year-old daughter got a drum kit for her first birthday as well. So it looks like I'm still the only guitar player and therefore the only real musician in the family. But drums are really important to Andertons, so if you're a drummer and don't mind the fact that I take the piss out of you all the time, please come down and visit our drum shed, meet one of our drum guys, because we stock all the kind of top drum stuff, and you know, we have a little drum mecca out here as well. Let's go. Anybody with a calculator or half a maths GCSE qualification is going to realise that actually I think both Rob and I have blown the budget by about £8 or something, but that's acceptable. So it's £508 gigging rig. I'm sure if you asked Andertons for the £8 discount to make it 500, they would do it. And I should say, I'm only on half volume at the moment, so if I need more when we start jamming, I've got it.
We're Stone Valley Redemption, and this is Rob Beats Lee at volume and tone.
It's Stone Valley Redemption, and this is Lee Beats Rob at volume and tone.
I think it's really, really obvious that actually I'm the winner.
I was going to be fair and say that's two good tones for under £500.
It's two fantastic tones for under £500. If you went £1,000, you've almost got a band and throw in a drum kit and you got yourself a lot of fun. We should do this more often.
We should do this more.
We should. He's a really good drummer.
He's a good drummer.
Who'd
When do you want to play drums, babe?
Who'd have knew? Who'd have knew that the Afro Man was a ridiculous batteriste
Done.
as well as done. And yeah, there you go. Look forward to some more Stone Valley Redemption.
Bye.